Watch closely, because this solve will determine if I get or not a podium at my Rubik's Cube competition. But let's take a few steps back when the competition started. The first event that I'm competing in is a 2x2, an event which I don't really care about, but I have high hopes because I practiced it so much in December during the period that I learned Ortega, so I set the goal to get a sub 4 average. The time to beat is 4.38. That shouldn't be too hard, right? Truly it isn't, as I started the average with a sub 3 second solve, followed by 3.51. At this point I know that I can easily get a sub 4 average, and honestly I could if this didn't happen in the next solve. Indeed, I solved the cube in just 2 seconds, and all I need to do is a UF, because of the last layer skip that I got. Meanwhile, a few seconds prior I said, "Oh, I'm so lucky, I got so good scrambles." But little did I know that my luck was about to change, because the cube misaligned when it hit the table. When I noticed that, I desperately tried to undo the +2. I thought the timer didn't stop at the beginning, but unfortunately it turned out that it did. As a result, I got a DNF on that solve, but by the best delegate ever. As expected, the next two solves were terrible, as I couldn't focus at all. I would have beaten my previous PR by a lot if it wasn't for this stupid table. But it's fine, because at least I have one more chance to shine in the finals. Spoiler alert, the bad luck continued there as well. Next up I'm competing in the 4x4. I used to hate this event a few months ago, but just a few days before the competition starts, I suddenly start to like it. So I was nervous to do well. I start the average with a 58 second solve. I continue the average with a 53, which is a lot better than the 58, but still pretty bad for me. My goal is to get a sub 50 average, but that becomes impossible with a 1 minute and 11 second solve that I just got. At this point I realize that my average is now ruined, so I stop caring, and the very next solve is a 48, followed by a 55, which is not great, but still better than a 1 minute solve that I got previously. And just like that, I accomplished my goal of getting a sub 50 single. I guess what you can learn from this average is that the less you care, the better the results are, at least for me. Now let's get back to the 2x2, but this time finals, because I'm so good that my last name is Finals. No, that was a joke. A bad one, but still a joke. Now, the solve that you are about to see makes me so mad. Because not only did I get the worst case possible, which is the Y perm upside down, I regret not remembering this alg, but also because this led to 4.5 seconds solve. Now I want you to guess what case I got in the next solve. That's right, the exact same one. But it doesn't stop there, because I got it again in the very next solve for the third time in a row. To finish off the average, this is the last solve. Bruh. Thank God I beat my PB average by 0.02 seconds, which is not a lot, but it's still better than nothing. I also did Mega Mix that day, but I didn't record because first of all, no one cares, and secondly, I'm so bad at this event that I would probably have no friends afterwards. Not that I have any now, but anyway. The time for the 4x4 finals is here, and I need to get some good results or I'll have to call the entire day a failure. I went calm and concentrated. A strategy which really seemed to pay off, as I got an amazing 41 second solve. Then I got a 46, which is good for me, not amazing, but still better than a 50 that I got afterwards. To be honest, that 50 made me kind of sad, because I really wanted to get a sub 50 average, and that solve was pushing me towards the opposite direction. Right now I have a counting 46 and a 50, which give me an average of around 48 seconds. With that being said, I need to get a 52 or lower to secure that sub 50 average that I want so badly. And so I, Rafa the Choker, on my very last attempt, I get an amazing 43 second solve, meaning that my final average is 46.92, which is way better than my goal. I can't describe you how happy I am with this performance, but I guess my reaction can. And yep, I got lucky by getting an OLL skip. The fact that I got some good results that day gave me confidence for the next day. It's Sunday, which means that I'm competing in two events, the 3x3 and the Pyramids. I didn't record that solve for the same reason as a Megamix, but that doesn't matter because I need to focus on the 3x3 and potentially get a podium, which at this competition is pretty hard to get, but in case that I perform well, there are chances of me entering the third spot. However, that won't happen if I get 11 second solves like this one. The next solve was damn good. For the rest of the solves, I won't even bother talking about, as I got 2 10s, which for me are pretty bad. And oh god, what in the world am I doing in the last solve? Anyway, that was expected as it was the first round, meaning that I had little time to warm up. It wasn't only me though, as everyone else did terrible in that round as well. The second round went smoother, starting the average with a decent 9.68. I continued the average with an even better time. The fourth solve is kind of a mystery, because despite my solution being pretty intuitive, I got a 12. This probably happened due to the pauses. Anyway, I'm happy that I improved compared to the previous round. This round is not that important, I just want to break my PR average of 9.88 seconds. Unfortunately, I didn't. It's fine though, as I have 2 more chances in the next 2 rounds. I knew that I had to perform well in the semi-finals, so I could have 1 more chance in the finals. And I did, because I cancelled semi-finals. And everyone who advanced to the next round went straight to the finals. Now we all compete together, meaning that there isn't the pressure of the head-to-head format, unlike other competitions. This is my time to shine. I forgot to film the first solve, but it was bad, 10.98. But then I get an insane 7.61. If I continue like that, then I'm definitely getting podium. But the worst thing that could happen, happened. I messed up so badly, which resulted in a 13-second solve. And the worst part is that now that I reconstructed the scramble, I found a solution which led to a parallel skip, and if I saw that then, I could have gotten a 7 or an 8-second solve. Here are the next 2 solves, and afterwards I'll tell you what I did and what I could have done. 8 seconds is great, but not enough to save me, except if I get a 7.54 second solve or better, then I could get 3rd spot. Did I get it? Nope, not even close. But at least I beat my previous PR average. In the end I placed 8, which is not bad, but I could have placed way higher if I did the solution that I am about to show you. So this is a scramble, you can follow along if you want. In the solve, I picked the cube with the blue side facing me, and I began by doing an F prime. Then I inserted this cross piece like that, and then I aligned the cross with a D prime and inserted the last cross piece. From here I inserted this pair at the back, which is a pretty decent solution, and now that leaves me with this easy pair, which I just rotate and solve it like that. Here in the solve I did a U for some reason. What I wanted to do was to solve both of these pairs at the same time with sudo F12, but I messed up. This is the way to do it. Take this edge out, which can be done with a wide move, take it out like that, and then inserted it in the correct spot, and then with a D prime and a reverse lefty sexy move, voila. And now I have this pretty easy COLL case, which goes like this, and that leaves me with the Z perm. But what if I told you that there is a better solution which would have given me a PLL skip? This time I will solve the cross differently. I will start by doing a D2 and insert the white and orange edge into the cross, then insert this cross piece like that, and last but not least with an R2 solve the last cross piece. Now I can see this easy F2L case which will be solved into the back, U prime, and then set up the case and then inserted it like that. And that leaves me with a very easy case which can again be solved into the back. I can rotate the cube, align this edge with the center and solve this case at the back. And luckily enough I get a free pair, which I could just solve like this, but this is a terrible solution because I will end up with this corner flipped. What I can do instead is use keyhole. I can do a D, take this corner out, and then I just insert it into the cross and align the cross again. And that leaves me with this solved pair. From here do a U prime, sledgehammer, and that gives me this anti-soon. Which, by the way, if you know COLL, it ends up with a PLL skip. Imagine how crazy would that be if I saw this solution then. I regret when looking back at this, but at the end of the day, making friendships and creating experiences is all what really matters. Like please, because this video took forever to make, and watch this video next.